Aye, alright folks, welcome back to Glesga News. Right, okay, this is a story in the record that's breaking this story. This is by Caitlin Easton. Apparently she's a reporter. As we're hearing on the radio and on the mainstream media, Celtic chief Peter Lawwell's panicked neighbours woke up to total chaos as a blaze raged at his Glasgow home. The Celtic boss and his family were forced to flee the property after the terrifying attack. So there it's there. Apparently some maniac has went up to Peter Lawwell's house and firebombed one of these cars. The man was at home. What makes this one particularly serious? There's been quite a few. There's been at least 3. This is the third I know of. I'll go into them in a second. Firebombs of well-known football players and now chief executive. What makes this one more serious is that above Peter Lawwell's house, above his garage rather, there was a flat, like accommodation here, and apparently his daughter and grandchild were in that part of the building. So whoever done this is a complete maniac, right? And it's a bit strange how we're getting so many of these. So anyway, let's read the story. It says, Lawwell and his family were forced to flee their property after an incident around 1 AM this morning, and police and fire crews have now launched a probe into the attack. So there you've got police photographers and the forensic waiting to go in, and you've got some forensic over here dealing with this side of the house. So no doubt that he must have CCTV. That'll all have been caught in CCTV. But you know yourself, you just a lot of the CCTV footage, plus the fact that people wear masks now, don't they, for just going to the shops. So you're very unlikely to be able to identify anyone. Now this is in a place called Thornton Hall, which is just the other side between Busby. It's a very nice area with some really lovely houses and some quite affluent people live there. It's just between Busby and Bride, I would say. The Carmonach Road's there, which leads down into the abyss called Castlemilk. So, you know, these people could have came from any direction. They could have came from East Kilbride, they could have came from Castlemilk area, or they could have came through the Busby area, or that direction, if you know what I'm saying. But apparently it was horrendous. The neighbours woke up to all sorts of noises, because you would have tyres blowing, you would have all sorts of carry on. Look at the extensive damage to that building. That's just going to be demolished, you know. That is a nightmare scenario to wake up, any family to wake up to. There it's there. Now imagine that his man's daughter and grandchild were in that building there. That is absolutely shocking. It says here, there was a petrol bomb just down the road about a year ago as well, one of the neighbours says. Surprisingly wild things happened in Thornton Hall. Another neighbour was woken by sirens outside their home. She said, I woke up and there were police everywhere. Well, I don't really need to go into that. But you know, the pictures I'm showing you are evidence enough of how serious it is. Obviously Celtic FC have issued a statement describing how Lawwell and his family have been left extremely shaken and shocked. Of course, it's a real shockaroonie, not to be taken lightly by any means. There was also another story as well. This was back in 2020, November last year. Lee Griffin's house, he plays for Celtic, his house was attacked, firebomb attack at his home, and there's quite a bit of damage to, that's obviously a garden wall, but there's, thankfully wasn't a person living above the garage as such, There's the damage, extensive heat damage to the top of the house there, and that's the man there. Somebody firebombed his house. And then more recently, the last one I saw was Alan McGregor. Alan McGregor's house was set on fire. Sorry, his car was set on fire, or a car was set on fire in his driveway. Horrific. So there's been quite a spate of these attacks. I mean, you don't know, do you? You kind of, if somebody attacks a Celtic football player's car like this with a fire, or indeed Peter Lawwell's, you tend to believe that would be the opposition that done it. Like Lee Griffins, you would say it was a Rangers supporter, say, that done that. And you would say that the Alan McGregor one, that was the Celtic supporters that done that. But you just don't know. You don't know what. I mean, it's likely, isn't it? I mean, but I don't know if they'll catch the people involved. The only thing I would say they would have to go by would be possibly CCTV of a car, and they'll be looking at different routes in and out of that area, and they'll be collecting all the CCTV from quite some distance away, I would imagine, from that specific time frame, and they'll be trying to capture registration numbers. And God help the guy or guys that's car is identified as being part of this one, because they're going to be under quite a bit of pressure in terms of the mob, So quite a story, breaking news, Anyway, folks, if you like the content, hit the like button, share and subscribe, because that's all I've got to say about that. Peace out.
How dare you!